Hi, it's Tina Brinkley Potts, and today I'm on with Chris and Mary, and we're going to talk about what are the great components of an irresistible offer. You know, when you're trying to do business online, one of the most important things is to find ways for people to know, like, and trust you. And one of those ways is an irresistible offer. So the way we're going to do this today is I'm going to let both of the ladies kind of introduce themselves, and then Chris is going to give what are the great components of an irresistible offer. So, Mary, let's let you introduce yourself first, and then that way when Chris introduces herself, she can just continue to go with what the components are.
Okay, thank you, Tina. It's great to be here. I am Mary Boris with Big Dogs Marketing. We are in the Chicagoland area, and we work with small businesses to help them get found online. And we do that using a variety of methods, anything from local SEO. We can even do global SEO. We use video campaigns as well as mobile marketing and, of course, social media.
Great. Chris?
All right. I'm Chris Berggren with Local Links Marketing. We help our customers link with their ideal client, engage them, and grow their business. We do basically the same things that Mary does in Southern California, and we especially love mobile apps and mobile marketing. So let me jump right in now to creating an irresistible offer and why that's important and how you really go about doing that. You need an irresistible offer anytime you want someone to join a list that you're going to be able to market to repeatedly. So if you want to do email marketing, if you want to do text message marketing, if you have an app for your business, a smartphone app, and you want to communicate with your customers regularly, you will also need irresistible offers. So let's run down a quick list of the things you need to consider when you're creating that offer. Number one on your list is identifying who you actually want on the list. You know, I think it's a global mistake that people make that we often tend to think, well, everybody out there, everyone with 2 feet or everyone who likes to eat should be on my list. And the truth is that if you learn to narrow down your well, we call it your avatar or your ideal client, the person that you particularly want to market to. If you narrow it down, you will find more success in your marketing rather than taking really the shotgun approach. Everybody's my market. So you can always segment your list. You can have more than one group, but it's always good to focus on a particular segment of your market and get into a more narrow niche. You'll have more success. So identify who you want. Then, what does that ideal client struggle with? Think about it. Are they struggling with the cost of meals? Let's say you're a restaurant. Do they struggle with what it's going to cost to take their family out to dinner? Do they struggle with a need for information on a subject that you might be able to provide them some insight on? What do they struggle with? You have to think about that in relation to the type of business that you have. Now, number 3, this is where this is kind of where the rubber meets the road, in my opinion. What do they want or need? Now, sometimes you get this by just thinking about it yourself and thinking about the people you've seen and talked to. Sometimes you really need to ask people that are visiting your business right now what they really want or need so that you can focus your offer to either alleviate pain or gear it towards one of their aspirations or desires. What I do to get this part done is make a list. I divide my list down the middle, and I have 2 sides. On one side, I list the fears and frustrations of my ideal client. And on the other side, I list their wants and aspirations. They're two totally separate things, but we appeal to people in these two categories with our offers. So once I have a list, I narrow it down to 5 or 10 of the best ones, and then see what kind of offers I can create to meet the needs that I've just identified on my list. Here's some things that you need to think about when you're creating the offer now after you've made your list. First of all, your offer needs to deliver on its promise. Mm-hmm. It needs to persuade your ideal customer to give you, usually you're asking for something in return. You're asking for them to give you their email address. You're asking for them to opt into a text message system. So essentially they're giving you their mobile phone number. You might be asking them to download your app and allow you to send notifications. They're called push notifications through the app. So it needs to persuade them to make that trade. Their information for your for whatever it is you're offering. And it must deliver high value. And I'll tell you how I decide if it's high value. It needs to be so good that you really want to charge money for it. Yeah. But you're not going to charge them for it. Absolutely. They're going, instead of money, they're going to give you this precious thing that they have, which is their phone number or, the download or their email address, which ultimately is probably worth more money than you would have charged for your offer. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my criteria right there in deciding if that offer is really good. I really wish I was charging money for it. Now, here are some examples of the things you should think about when you're creating this offer. You could say, here's what we have for you, here's what it cost, here's what's in it for you, and here's why you should trust us. Those are things that need to be included as components in some way or another. It's not always with words. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's delivered visually, but again, those are more things to think about. Really, having a strong offer, an extraordinary offer, is what gets you lots of people opting in. That is, making the choice to become part of your list. An example might be for a copywriter. I know this doesn't apply to, say, what we're usually talking about, mom and pop businesses, but I just want to give you an example. A copywriter might offer free copywriting tips because the people who are looking for a copywriter to hire probably are struggling on how to write well, write offers, write for their blogs or whatever. So that would be appealing to the target audience there. I have some more examples I think I'll come back to later when it's my turn to talk about specific industries, but I might talk a little bit about dentists and a couple other ones on what might be a good offer and not. Let me add just one more thing in here, Tina, and that is that you need to make your offer fit what service or product you actually want to deliver. And let me just use a dentist for an example so you understand what I'm saying. If a dentist is making an offer for free teeth whitening, they are not going to attract clients that need dental implants. So if the dentist really wants clients that need implants, free teeth whitening is not the right offer for that ideal customer. And this is what I mean. You need to make your offer match who you really want to be working with from that list.
Okay. So
that's a good start.
Let's kind of, before we move on and give examples, because I think one of the best ways of kind of honing in to all of the components you said is actually let's talk about an offer and then kind of dissect those components. So what I can tell you is right now I am starting a tour across the country called Reinventing Your Legacy. And this is targeting, while a lot of times we're talking about mom and pops, I want to kind of define who I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who've been in business for a long time, and now all of a sudden in this new economy, they find themselves struggling. That is my exact target market on who this campaign is about. And one of the offers that I have is literally, I have a ebook that is the 25 must-have software or technology for a small mom and pop business. And literally I go through and talk about different technology and all of this stuff that I use, and I compare it to what they may have done in the past so they can understand the direct correlation. Not only do I tell them where to get it, I also tell them why they should get it, and I tell them how it will benefit their business. And I give it all for free. Now, quite honestly, I could go sell this. I could go analyze someone's business and sell it for a lot of money. But I decided that it is so important for mom and pop businesses to understand. And I'll just give you a quick example. For instance, we have the issues that are going on with the post office system. We don't know if additional post offices are going to close. There has been a lot of reports of when the initial locations closed, how, it's taking longer to deliver the mail and all of that kind of stuff. So if you're still going to the post office and you're waiting in line to pick up stamps, you can just buy stamps online, stamps.com, or directly from the post office. And so that's one thing that sounds really simple, but it saves you time, especially if you now don't have a local post office. One of the things I know that mom and pops are still doing is they're still mailing their invoices to their clients. You can email them and cut some of the time out by just emailing your invoices directly out of your system. It's probably a feature that is already included in whatever software package you're using, but you probably just haven't used it because you didn't understand it. But that could actually help your cash flow by getting your money a few days sooner. So I just wanted to give one example of how you can break that down. Mary, you want to jump in and give an example?
I think that's a great example, Tina. And I think that technology is something everyone can always improve their business with, once they learn how to use some of those things. And, how about if we were to talk about a local business, for example, a spa, a nail salon, hair salon, day spa sort of place. Perhaps a really great offer might be either a $100 service, one service that's worth $100. And if that person, after they get that service, let's say it's a manicure or something, then they check into Facebook and they let their friends know that they were there and what a great experience it was. And then for doing that, they also get another reward. Maybe they get a 10% discount off of their next visit. Something like that. I think that might be a really good way to entice someone to use the salon services, especially if it's a service that's a repeat kind of business. Maybe even some sort of a loyalty program might be in order where they, get so many points every time they go to get a service, and then they get a free manicure after they get 10 visits in or something like that.
Mary, I think those are great examples. And those are great examples for after you get the client through the door. So, and to kind of expand on, the same area, a nail salon could say the 7 ways to avoid a nail infection when you're going to nail salons, or something to that effect that is great information to know, but it's something that's going to get you into that salon because they're going to build a trust factor, showing how they make sure they're protecting their clients, even though you haven't become a client yet. So I do think you gave a great example. But we do have to decipher, when do you use what type of offer? What do you think, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
It's so true. You do have to differentiate what we would call your front-end offer, your getting them in the door kind of offer, or the one that you're giving, offering, you're sending out there to get their information in return, versus the back-end offers, the ones that now they've allowed you to send that will keep them as customers. Let me give you just a quick list of different kinds of things one could consider. Mary mentioned what I would call something that comes in the coupon category. It can be a discount. It can also be a value add instead of a discount. Adding something onto a service or a product. Let me give an example, like a flower shop. They may say, when you buy, such and such bouquet, we will upgrade your vase to this, super fancy schmancy vase that everyone wishes they had but doesn't normally come with it. However they would put that. But that's a value add, so you still have a customer paying full price, but they're getting something they really wish they had, but they usually have to pay extra for it. Another thing is a free report, and you mentioned that, Tina.
Yep.
A report that has a high value is something that your clients might always be asking you. It might include 10, 20 frequently asked questions that people have in your business. People that frequent your business, the kinds of questions they have. It might be a very long answer to one specific question that is very common. Sometimes that report could include the questions people should be asking. There are some businesses where clients and customers, they ask all the wrong questions, and you, the professional, know the questions they should be asking, and you need to educate them on that. Another thing is a webinar. It's a little more effort on the part of the business owner, but it is a very high value. An educational, informational webinar. This works really well with professional services. It can be a video course that's coming through their email, or some other kind of an e-course, an E just standing for email, something that is going to come to them over the course of several weeks or several days that is, step 1, 2, 3 through whatever fits your need. But it doesn't always have to be a coupon. Now, in retail businesses, people do respond very well to discounts. So sometimes in the retail business, the best discounts are adding free drinks, free sodas, whatever, to a meal, or adding a buy one, get one free. So you're requiring the people to actually make a full price purchase, and then you're providing the second meal free of charge. Bringing a second person, that gets them a second person, and there's all kinds of great things that happen from that kind of an offer. So I guess that's probably the end of that train of thought, Tina. Okay. I can carry on,
That's okay. It's good information, but, there are some industries. Let's kind of talk about offering value. Because, like Chris said, sometimes coupons are the best when you're in the retail arena. I personally don't feel it is the best if you are in the professional services arena. That area you must develop the trust factor first. So if you are leading with just a discount, you have not developed the trust. So I'm going to go out on a limb and probably say something that most people wouldn't tell you. As a matter of fact, I remember one coach told me, you give away too much. And honestly, you can ask me a question and I'm going to give you the best answer that I have every single time. I'm not going to hold back the good stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm going to flood you with as much as I can give. So if you are in the professional services industry, I'm going to tell you that the best thing that you can give away is your best stuff, because you're going to set yourself apart from everyone else that's out there that's trying to give away the little trinkets. So give it away. People will still come and buy. What do you think, Mary?
Great advice. Yes, I think it's great advice. I'm thinking, about chiropractors and doctors and dentists, and those are the folks that really you really need to earn their trust. They have to earn your trust. For sure. And I think that if there was, for example, a webinar like Chris was talking about earlier, where maybe a chiropractor is giving information about, how to take care of your back, how to have a healthy posture, how to have a healthy alternate lifestyle, how to, keep well kind of tips and things like that. And I think over time, people will just start to really like that person. And the next time they need to go to a chiropractor, that's who they would call. I think that would be a great way to earn the trust. Yes.
And think about that one, Mary, where you're talking about like a chiropractor or something, and you said how to have the best alternative lifestyle or something. When we use these little things, we always talk about searching with our phone. Now when we search, we actually ask questions. How do you have, a great alternative lifestyle, a drug-free, prescription-free lifestyle? And just think, if your report comes up, you are now the expert because you had exactly what someone else was looking for. So when you're watering down your message, you're not reaching and becoming the expert for exactly what someone's looking for. I think that is so important. Chris, you want to jump in?
Oh, I totally agree. And starting your message with how to is actually one of the best ways to be found in searches, because you're exactly right. Yeah. People ask questions when they're typing into Google all the time. And, I'm thinking, let's just go back to the chiropractor example. If a chiropractor, say, teaches people exercises and things they can do at home, one of the great things they can do in a video series is teach people a handful of those exercises. Again, it goes against what a lot of people think, and that is I have to hold all my secrets really tight to my chest and I can't share them unless people come in and pay me. But you do need people to know, like, and trust you. So if you're able to teach them 5 of your 45 exercises, because I know I am an athletic trainer in my former life, before my internet marketing life and family, and I have a quiver full of tips and tricks and exercises and things people can do for just about every joint injury you can imagine. And I know that if I shared 5 of them, I would still have 45 left in the quiver for that particular injury. Same thing for a chiropractor or another professional. If you can give away and teach in a way that people understand, that they connect to, now they feel this connection with you, then it's quite likely that they might think, wow, if I go make an appointment, with Dr. James, that I will be able to get the whole ball of wax. He's this good for 5 of them. Yeah. Wow, I need all 45.
And Chris,
that sort of thing.
And Chris,
when you give it away, you often get it back.
You're absolutely right. And you gave me a great tip to give everyone. I think that because my personal trainer, I think he's great, and one of the ways you can develop what type of offer is by asking your clients why they picked you. And I can tell you that the personal trainer that I have, I like him because he has taught me so much on, first off, how to not injure myself and how to push through the difficult part. You know how when you stop exercising and you're going through that soreness stage and, or I had personal trainers who were huge and I don't want to bulk up. I want to, make sure it's slim. And, he explained the differences between how you don't do that. And so that now I can exercise on my own even when I'm not with them. So I think that is an excellent way of finding what it is that you should develop. I mean, your customers can tell you exactly what sets you apart from the rest.
Exactly. Sometimes it's beneficial for a business owner to develop even a little survey. Now, your survey can just be in your head where you're having a casual conversation, or sometimes even a written survey when you're asking your current clients to help you out. People love to help. So if you frame it as they are helping you, you don't usually even have to reward them in any other way. The reward right there is that they were helpful to you. Not everyone will do it, but most will.
Absolutely.
It gives you invaluable information.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the main things that I teach my clients, and I ask them, especially when I'm first meeting you, what is the opinion of your company through your client's eyes? And a lot of times I say, you got to be honest with yourself now. What are the calls and the feedback you're getting from your clients? Are they complaints? What are they? Let's just talk about them and own them so that way we can either make ourselves better.
And Tina, this is...
Go ahead.
Oh, you can finish.
Oh, no, I mean, it's just one of those things that a lot of times we don't want to face. We want to, sugarcoat it and make it like, oh, we're just all so great and it's everybody else's fault. But if you just look at your business through your customer's eyes, you can grow so much faster because you know exactly what you need to improve and you know what you're doing well because they will tell you.
Yes, and that dovetails with what I was going to say is that if you create a survey, it needs to ask kind of the tough questions. How could we improve? What would you like to see happen in our office, in our, in whatever our business is? What could we do to make it better for you? And you have to be prepared to take ownership of some of the stuff that people might say and go, wow, maybe we could do that better, and we're going to do it now. You'll make your current customers happy, and you will certainly be able to attract more new clients because you become more attractive as you improve. And there is no one better to tell you how you're doing than your current clients.
Absolutely.
I think having negative feedback is a great opportunity to jump in and improve your business for sure.
Absolutely.
And it shows that you care and that you're listening to what they have to say. So I think that's a great way to position yourself.
Absolutely. So, so far, you guys, we've kind of given some examples for chiropractors, doctors, those kind of things. We did nail salons, places like that. Are there any other companies we want to kind of give an example for? I personally would like to give an example for a cleaning company. If you do residential cleaning, when my kids was younger, I was probably working about 80 hours a week. And we kept our house pretty clean, but my oldest daughter had asthma. and, making sure that the baseboards and the air vents and all of that stuff stayed free of dust was really important. So if you just talk about in a free report how having your house cleaned professionally can reduce your asthma attacks, I mean, how many people are going to look for you for that? So,
yep, and keep you free from allergies.
Absolutely, Tina, that alleviates a huge pain.
A huge pain. And it specifically targets a specific type of person. Chris, you started out talking about everyone. That is not a strategy for everyone, but people will hone into you because you hit their specific pain.
Right.
Yep. So any other industries we want to talk about?
Yeah, Tina, can I say everyone is never a strategy. Everyone is a shotgun. And it's never a strategy. A strategy is finding a niche like you've just talked about and exploiting that niche. And if you exploit that niche and you still have room to grow, then add niche number 2.
Yes.
But if that's my big tip for the day, everyone is never a strategy.
Yeah. And Chris, I kind of will elaborate a little bit, especially going back to that, my target demographic, the mom and pops that have been in business for a long time. A lot of times what you did is you cast this wide net. We've talked about this before. You're not targeting, you're doing these bland advertisements in all of the traditional media, just hoping to cast a wide enough net that you're going to catch some fish. And right now online, that is absolutely counterproductive. It's better to just hone into a specific demographic. And if you don't know how to pick your target market and you're already in business, again, just talk to your current clients and you will find similarities to why they are doing business with you. One of the things, like for me, I do hone into that market. However, I'm not saying it's going to exclude you from others because I have authors that are clients. I have, clients that have retired professional athletes and, just don't fit that demographic. But people that are looking for what you have to offer and they can feel like you understand their pain, that is a whole different strategy and you find your clients a lot quicker. So, Mary, did you want to hit another?
Tina,
go ahead. Sure.
Can I just add to that? When you say to go after a niche, we're not saying that you can't service the other people that find you. Mm-hmm. We're saying that finding a niche is a marketing strategy. It's a way for you to find people who need your services. There are going to be people on the periphery that find you anyway and want your services. And most of the time, we're still going to want to service them. We're not saying you have to limit yourself to only helping the people in that niche, but everyone is not a marketing strategy. It's not a way to find new customers.
And absolutely. And the funny thing is that when you start honing into the challenges of your niche market, you will find that you can market the same service 1,000 different ways and reach 1,000 different targets. But you will find that once you do that, you will bring people to you a lot quicker. So I just wanted to make sure it is definitely a mindset shift because most people, when you begin telling them to target, they shut down because they think they're limiting themselves, like you just said, from servicing other people when that is exactly the opposite. It just shows that you have specialized in that type of client, which you have if you start talking to your customers.
You also have a lot more loyalty, I think, to the customers that are specifically honed into what you have already decided to offer them. So I think, you'll have a better I want to say quality list of people, as opposed to, let's say, if you were to purchase a list, you don't really have any loyalty there and you probably won't get very far with them, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I think that let's just kind of recap. You know, Krista, you want to just recap the great components really of a irresistible offer and then why you should have it?
You bet. And Tina, I lost you for a minute or so. I'm not sure if Mary got to a niche or not. I did want to talk for a second about one of the best offers that I have seen or heard about, and give people a little more food for thought on a very creative offer that brought hundreds of people to the list of a pizza parlor with really very little marketing cost. Basically, what this pizza parlor was located in an area where people come for lunch, a corporate type tall building sort of area. And what they did was distribute flyers around to all the offices, and the surrounding businesses, inviting people to join their text message list. One of the things I didn't include, and I should have earlier, was the offer you make to people needs to be something that they cannot get somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So in the case of the pizza place, it was if you sign up to our text messaging list, you will be entered into a contest to win a free pizza every week for a year. Now, they got right around 700 subscribers. Now, every time they send a text message, they are sending to these 700 people, usually around lunchtime, sometimes dinner time, where they might be offering them, a 2-for-1 or a free soda with their pizza, something like that. But they fill their restaurant at times when they want to from this list. And it costs them one pizza a week. And actually, really with that kind of offer, most people do not come in and get a pizza every week, even though they could after they won. But let's just say it did cost them one pizza a week. That costs less than, 1 month of a Yellow Page ad, one big newspaper ad, things like that. It was absolutely brilliant marketing idea that got them a highly responsive list. These are people who like to come in and get pizza at this particular place. Again, I think it was a brilliant idea. Absolutely. It can be, twisted and tweaked to all kinds of different businesses, and it is one other idea for a valuable offer, and that's a contest. A contest where you're giving away something that the people want. In this case, it was the actual product. It does not always need to be your product. But even a dentist, a dentist, I see all these ideas or all these things that come to my house from dentists where it is get a cleaning and free x-rays for $30 or $50 or something like that, because it's the foot in the door strategy. It's the try to get you into our office so you can meet us and know, like, and trust us, right? Mm-hmm. What if their offer was, win free cleanings for 2 years? In all actuality, the dentist would have to think about, okay, what is that going to cost me? It's not a lot compared to the overall lifetime value of the patient. You're giving them enough time to really know, like, and trust you. And you'll probably get a lot of people that were very interested that were thinking about changing dentists. Just another idea. Okay, so you asked me to recap, and I'm totally off track.
It's okay. So. You gave another great example, though. I mean, and even if you didn't hear your industry in this call, I think you can you can take one of the suggestions that we've given and apply it to pretty much any industry, whether it's a service-related business or a product-related business. There was a tip in this call for you. So, Chris, how about recapping great components of an irresistible offer?
Here's the bullet point list. Number one, identify who you want on your list. And just one more time, remember, everyone is not a marketing strategy. Number two, what does your ideal client struggle with? You might even want to ask them. The clients that you actually have that fit that mold, you might ask them, and you'll find out things you never even guessed. Number three, what do they need or want? Because your offer should alleviate pain or provide an opportunity for them to meet a goal or an aspiration that they have. Meet one of their wants or aspirations. I do this by making a list of their fears and frustrations and, on the other side, their wants and aspirations. And number four, your offer needs to be so good that you really want to charge money for it, but you're going to give it away. It needs to be something that they can't get anywhere else. You cannot make the offer and say, you're going to get this if you sign up right here for this list, and then they turn around and find it in the Valpak insert next week. Okay, unless it's to sign up for that same list, or you cannot be making the same offer in multiple, well, how do I put it? You can make the same offer, but you can't be giving them the same thing. I know I'm talking around myself right here. Here's what I think. If you're offering someone certain coupons because they're on your text message list, they cannot be able to find those coupons in the local paper.
Absolutely,
because they will feel like you lied to them.
Yes.
Everyone can get it from the paper, and now they gave up valuable information to get something that they thought was exclusive, and it wasn't. So that's the primary way you could, you can really kill your list by doing that. So make sure it's just something that is extraordinary and they can't get it anywhere else.
Yeah, and
it's
that
a challenge
goes
to
to
make
the
irresistible offers.
That goes to the trust factor. You got to have the know, the like, and the trust factor, and that definitely goes to the trust factor. If you're asking people to give their information so that they can get something, it should feel exclusive. It shouldn't feel like this is something that they're given. Chris, I know exactly where you were going with it, so I think you got there at the end. So you really did get there, but
finally,
it really does go to trust. It goes to trust. So Mary, if someone is looking to get help from you in developing an irresistible offer, how would they contact you?
They could go to www.bigdogsmarketing.com, and that's big dogs with a Z, or they could call at 630-985-6970.
Okay, can you slow down the phone number, because you really said that at like warp speed?
Did I?
Yeah, it's like if somebody was writing, they would have to have shorthand. So say it again.
It's 630-985-6970.
Okay, and Chris, so recap, you gave the components, but why should whichever business that wants to do business online right now, or even offline, why should they have an irresistible offer?
I'm sorry, Tina, who did you ask?
Chris, I'm sorry. Yeah, Chris.
Were you
why
asking
should
me?
they have an irresistible
Once again,
offer?
I'm having a little trouble with my audio and video.
That's okay.
Why should they have an irresistible offer? Basically, because you are asking your potential customers and clients to give up something valuable to them, and you have to consider it something that is just as valuable as cold hard cash, because in the end, it is cold hard cash to you. When you're able to make repeated offers to these people, you will drive more business. More people to your business that you will be receiving payment for your services or your products. So that's the main thing. You're asking people to give up their email address, their phone number, their time, their attention to your message. These are all things that are very valuable commodities.
And Chris, if someone is looking for help from you developing a irresistible offer, how can they find you?
These days, the best way to find me is to give us a call. That's 951-234-5006. And you can look for us on the web at local links, LYNX, marketing.com. And I say that with a bit of a caveat because I am very busy revamping that website, and these days it says under construction a lot. So that's why I say the phone call at the moment is probably the best way. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/local links marketing.
Okay, and of course, I'm Tina Brinkley Potts, and if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. Website is Tina Brinkley Potts, and you know what? Why don't you guys share with us after you've watched this video what your irresistible offer is. You know, I don't mind if you put a link to your website and tell what your irresistible offer is. As a matter of fact, that's what all of us should be doing. We should be helping support other small businesses out there. So, you know, I know a lot of other people don't want their, your links on their website. I don't care. So, underneath this video, share your irresistible offer link. Give us a link. Let's hope somebody needs to see what you have. So thank you, girls, so much for joining us today, and we look forward to doing it again.
Thanks, Tina.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.